Imagine for a moment that every single interaction you have with another human being, every glance, every word, every silence, every smile, is secretly recorded, not in the way surveillance cameras do, but in a hidden ledger, an invisible bank account that belongs not to your finances, but to your heart and soul. This account doesn't measure dollars or rupees, but deposits and withdrawals of trust, love, kindness, and connection. We live in a world obsessed with financial statements, savings plans, retirement funds. We check our bank balances more often than we check on our own emotions. Yet, quietly, without us realizing, there is another account running parallel, a spiritual, emotional balance sheet of how we invest in people and how people invest in us. This is what I call the invisible bank account of human connections. Think about your own life. Think about the people closest to you. Every time you listen to someone without interrupting, you make a small deposit. Every time you remember their birthday, or notice when they are sad even when they don't say a word, you add to the balance. But when you dismiss their feelings, ignore their messages, or take their presence for granted, you make a withdrawal. And just like any real account, if you withdraw too much without putting in, the account runs dry. That relationship becomes fragile, empty, bankrupt. Have you ever wondered why some relationships collapse suddenly? From the outside, it looks like one big argument, one betrayal, one dramatic moment. But in truth, it is usually years of small withdrawals, unnoticed, unacknowledged, until there was nothing left to give. On the other hand, have you seen friendships that survive decades, even without daily contact? That's because their invisible account was filled with so many deposits of love and respect that even silence could not bankrupt it. This invisible account is not only between people, it is also within yourself. How you treat your own heart, your own inner voice, also affects whether you are rich or poor emotionally. When you constantly criticize yourself, compare yourself to others, or deny your own needs, you are making withdrawals from your self-account. But when you forgive yourself, invest in self-care, and honor your boundaries, you are depositing into your inner reserves. Without these deposits, you will eventually have nothing to offer to others. Let us go deeper. Human beings are wired for connection. Neuroscience shows that our brains release oxytocin when we experience trust and bonding. Our nervous system calms when we feel seen, when someone acknowledges our pain. In that moment, the invisible account grows richer. And yet, in our age of speed and distraction, we are often spending this currency recklessly. A distracted nod in place of true listening. A text message instead of a heartfelt conversation. A like on social media instead of a genuine connection. These are withdrawals disguised as deposits. And the soul knows the difference. Let's look at examples. Imagine a child waiting for their parent to look up from their phone. Each ignored moment is a small withdrawal. The parent may believe they are providing financially, but the child's invisible account is running empty. Years later, the child might not even remember the details, but they will carry the silent bankruptcy of love. On the other hand, a teacher who remembers the name of a quiet student or encourages them at the right time makes a deposit so powerful it can fund that student's self-worth for years. Our invisible accounts are interconnected. When you give, you do not lose. Unlike money, the emotional currency multiplies. When you smile at a stranger sincerely, you might have made a deposit in their account that prevents them from feeling invisible that day. And at the same time, your own account grows richer because kindness returns in unexpected ways. But here is the difficult truth. Just as in finances, some people live in debt. They borrow constantly without giving back. They take your time, your energy, your attention, but rarely deposit gratitude, care, or respect. And if you do not notice this imbalance, you may wake up one day emotionally bankrupt. This is why boundaries are not selfish. They are a way of protecting your invisible account. You cannot keep lending to someone who has no intention of repaying in trust or care. Forgiveness, however, is one of the most powerful deposits available. When you forgive someone, you are not erasing what they did, but you are freeing your account from being tied to a debt that will never be paid. Imagine carrying unpaid debts of anger and resentment year after year. It weighs down your account like a stone. But forgiveness releases it, creating space for new deposits of peace and connection. Now pause and reflect. If I were to ask you today, what is the state of your invisible bank account? With your partner? With your parents? With your children? With yourself? Are you in surplus, with reserves of love and trust? Or are you dangerously close to overdraft, living on emotional credit, hoping that one day things will magically get better? Just as financial advisors tell us to plan for retirement, to prepare for the future, we need to plan emotionally as well. Because when old age comes, when careers fade, when money loses its power, what will truly matter is whether our invisible accounts are full. Will there be people who sit by your side because you made deposits of kindness in their lives? Or will there be silence because you spent everything without investing? There is a practice I want to share with you. Every night before you sleep, do a quick audit. Ask yourself, whose account did I deposit into today? Did I truly listen to someone? Did I encourage someone? Did I thank someone? And then ask, did I make any unnecessary withdrawals? Did I ignore someone's pain? Did I let anger withdraw from an account that was already fragile? This small daily reflection can change the balance of your entire life. Remember, this invisible account is not about perfection. We will all make withdrawals. We will all forget, hurt, or fail someone at times. But the question is, are you depositing enough to cover those moments? Just as a wealthy account can withstand an occasional expense, a rich relationship can forgive mistakes because the balance is still strong. One more truth. You cannot outsource this account. You cannot ask others to keep depositing while you remain absent. A marriage, for example, fails when one person believes love is permanent regardless of effort. Number love is a living account. It must be nourished. Friendships, too, wither not from hatred but from neglect. So today, let us take responsibility. Let us become conscious investors in the currency of connection. Speak a kind word. Offer undivided attention. Acknowledge someone's pain. Deposit generously, because unlike money, this account only grows when shared. And finally, consider this. At the end of our lives, when we look back, we will not measure wealth by the size of our houses or the numbers in our bank accounts. We will measure it by the invisible accounts we built in the hearts of others. Did we leave behind richness of love, trust, and kindness? Or did we leave empty accounts, full of debts we never repaid? The invisible bank account of human connections is real. It is running every day, and the choice is yours. Are you saving or spending recklessly? Are you building a legacy of emotional wealth or leaving behind bankruptcy of the soul? Make your deposits today. Your future self will thank you.